Well, Mark, what a win. Back-to-back wins for the first time this season. How do you reflect on the game this afternoon?
Well, just getting out of the players what we have wanted from day one. You know, we went there last week, and I thought against a good footballing side, you know, we played the right way to beat them. Today we had a similar plan, but from minute one, really, they don't they don't allow you to play. They try and stop you playing, and they were mopping up long balls, and it was chaotic. And I think that's what they like. They like making it 100 mile an hour, and they're very good at it. They started well, and you can be overzealous when that happens. And you know they got two early bookings, which from that moment really you've got to be careful. And the game really changed on us having on the counter attack, and they, you know, one of their lads who'd been booked deliberately handballing to stop the counter attack, which is a yellow card. You know, I asked for it. Their manager wasn't happy that I asked for it because, you know, he doesn't want a player sent off. He'd have done exactly the same thing, but you know, from that moment, the game changed, and they're still frustrated um, that we weren't quite working out on field what we needed to do to cause them more problems. But eventually we did get it, and then it became convincing. And the longer the game went on, the more likely we were to score more goals. And it's you know it was a very positive result in the end, which we thoroughly deserved and enjoyed.
And talk to me a little bit about before the game. You didn't make any changes. Was that because of last weekend's victory, or was there anything else for team selection that?
Well, the thing with what we've done so far, I said before the game, really we can't use the excuse anymore of we're a new team and we've got a lot of new players. We've been in it long enough now, and we've played a selection of different teams in this league. We've played different ways, and now it's time to step up. You know, and winning a game away at Oxford, it's the right thing to do to give that team the opportunity again to come here and go again. And like you said before, it's not something we've done so far this season. We haven't gone back to back, but you know we certainly to a man today were better than them. We dealt with what they had, and we caused them problems all day long. You know, the captain is a shining example up top, and obviously Posher in the middle at the back is a shining example at the back. And if they play well, I think it helps other players to play well around them. And Jordan Richards being back was massively important. And you know we look like a group now who are starting to understand what it takes to win football matches at this level. We'll have many more battles to come, and many more things to deal with. But on the whole, we've got a really good group of lads, an honest group of lads who are really giving their all. And you know they're taking the moans and groans that I give them and Jack gives them, and they're dealing with it, and they're starting to turn performances in that are of this level. So, you know, really pleasing today.
And like you say, causing them problems, especially right at the start of the game. Obviously, they had that early sending off, and it almost seemed like for the rest of that half, the 10 men of Marine got a bit of a lift. What did you say to the players at half time?
It,
Obviously,
it was just tactically making sure that we're aware of, you know, what worked last week against Oxford wasn't quite working today. So if players can see it on the pitch and deal with it and make it happen on the pitch, then it can, you know, work quicker. But it took till half time for us to just say what they do is they play at such an intensity that you're almost your brain scattered when you do get the ball, and you can't think fast enough because they're working so incredibly hard to stop you. And I just said that calmness, moving it, finding one side to the other quickly will always allow us to have more time on the ball, be able to pick better passes. And you know we knew that we had the running of their back line. We just had to play the right passes. You know, they want to head it all day, and they're trying to force you to play long to head it. Where if you take that little bit of more risk and you're a bit brighter with the ball, you can play it down the sides of them. And you know, Tony Weston will get down the sides of the majority of defenders in this league. So it worked well with Tony. Obviously, there was a tightrope being because the referee seemed to all of a sudden get a little bit yellow card happy, and he wanted to stamp his authority on what could have got out of hand. But he didn't. He didn't go for the dives, and you know, in the end, it was an all-round good performance, and you know, we enjoy that tonight, and we get prepared for the next one.
And what about the quality of some of those goals, especially the first two from Alex Curran and Tony Weston? How did you see them from your point of view?
Well, in the game, you like everybody else, you're just happy that it goes into the net. There was a bit of quality from Jimmy to provide Alex with his chance, and he took it well. I'll enjoy watching them back and seeing the positives that we can talk about on Tuesday at training, you know. And it was not just the goal scorers, obviously the work and effort that every single player put in. We have a little man of the match award, but we give it to the group today because you know, they deserved it as a whole. They were outstanding, and that's what we have to achieve every week if we want to do anything in this league.
And you just spoke to me there about not using the lack of inexperience at this level as an excuse. Do you feel that week on week you are getting the team gelling together and you're getting closer to that level that you think this team can achieve?
Well, what we hope is consistency. That's what any successful team has to have, consistency. Lads who haven't played many games at this level, their consistency can be up and down. What they've got to understand with each game is when they come to it, is they've got to try and achieve that higher end consistency week in, week out. And once they do, they get the accolades that previous Curzon players have had, you know, and possibly the opportunities to play higher like every player wants to do. What we've got to do is recruit the right kind of characters, and like I say, I think we've got a real good group of lads who are honest. We've still never been able to have the full amount of experience that we've got in the squad on the pitch at once, but it just shows that the younger element of the squad are stepping up, they are learning, and they are able to achieve results like today and last week. And the more they do it, the better for us all, because you know, that was a really enjoyable performance from our point of view.
And like you say about the consistency, it's back-to-back wins for the first time this season. How nice is that for you and the rest of the management staff?
It's brilliant, you know, because as a relatively inexperienced and new manager, you know, obviously I've been a coach for a long time, but as a manager, I take results personally, and you know, and it does hurt, and I do overthink things away from the players. But to achieve results like this is a fantastic achievement, and you know, we've just got to do it again next week and the week after, and keep going, keep improving, gelling as a group, and enjoying them highs.
And obviously, you had some positive news earlier on in the week. Somebody who had yet another good game today, Eze, who obviously the news broke about him extending his deal until 2027. How happy are you? Are you to have him till then?
Yeah, he's come in at the right time, and you know, worked hard. We took him on a trial basis, but you know, all the directors backed me when I said, well, we should make it a permanent deal. You know, Ez was more than happy. Negotiations went really quickly. You know, he wants to play for Curzon, and you know, he's started his Curzon journey really well.
And how important is it now that you also try and keep this consistency going and keep yourself in this position, just creeped back into the playoffs?
That's a challenge of all of us, you know, from myself, all the management staff, all the way down to, you know, to every single player. You know, I'll mention the lads coming off the bench today. Obviously, Joe Robbo Grant got another goal. Brad Holmes should have scored. You know, when he's chipped the keeper and it's just gone the wrong side of the post. Crispin came on and was outstanding, and Timmy came off the bench and was solid in defence, and I think he played a couple of passes through that might have got him an assist. So real positives from the group, and that's what we're striving for, is every single person in the squad is together and they're giving their all to achieve results like today.
And finally, we're back on the road again next weekend against Macclesfield. Another really tough game. How are you feeling heading into that one?
Well, you know, they're in and around us as a new team in this league. They possibly expected that they would be slightly higher than they are, but you know, we go to Macclesfield as we've come here, as we went to Oxford, positive with a game plan, and we'll see how it takes us. Obviously, it's a former club of mine, so I look forward to going there. But yeah, I'm really pleased for the players at the moment, and they're certainly stepping up and showing that they can more than hold their own at this level.